Good morning and welcome to KidNuz. I'm Tori. Today is Friday, October 22nd, 2021. And we begin with an early Halloween creeping and crawling its way into parts of Georgia. Ginormous spiders known as joros are invading the state by the millions, scaring the stuffing out of those who cross its path. The unwelcome arachnid is brightly colored, grows to 3 inches across, and can spin a web several feet in diameter. According to the Wall Street Journal, while some homeowners are mesmerized by the yellow, red, and blue-green hues, most just want them gone. Trouble is, those who've gotten rid of one say 10 more return to take its place. The joro is native to Asia and likely arrived in the U.S. in a shipping container. It's recently been spotted in North Carolina and Tennessee, and since one expert calls it a great hitchhiker, it'll likely be in other parts of the country sooner rather than later. Are they dangerous? Not really, but they are known to bite when someone gets too close. It's a brutally honest admission from the greatest gymnast of all time. She's still afraid to do what she once did so easily. Simone Biles bared her soul and her ongoing struggles with mental health on the Today Show yesterday. And she fully admitted that she's not yet ready to do mid-air twists, the move that caused her to lose orientation with the ground and the reason she pulled out of most of the Tokyo Olympic events. Simone says the skill will come back at some point, but there's no rush. In the meantime, there's no grass growing under her feet. She continues her Gold Over America tour and just signed on to be the Chief Impact Officer for Cerebral, a company that provides global online access to mental health experts and resources. If you need another reason to keep garbage out of the oceans, this is it. A seal in Europe had to swim for weeks with a can of Red Bull stuck in its mouth. It was first spotted near Belfast, Ireland, but when harbour police tried to remove it, the distressed little pinniped swam off. 2 weeks later, and 80 miles away, the seal showed up again, this time in the UK, where rescuers were able to sneak up and wriggle the can off its bottom teeth. Every year, an estimated 11 million tons of trash ends up in our oceans. But it's not just marine life that need to worry about the bad habits of humans. Last week, Colorado officers freed an elk that had spent 2 years with a tire stuck around its neck. You know the shortage of bus drivers in the U.S. is bad when the former number 4 person at the FBI takes the wheel. According to CBS News, about half of the agency reported to Michael Mason before he retired. But when he heard that 51% of America's schools are reporting severe or desperate driver shortages, with his own district in need of 125 drivers, he decided to step up. "I've done some important things," Mr. Mason said, "but guess what? This is important too." Making his pickups and drop-offs even sweeter, he's donating all of his salary to charity. A secret held by the sea for 900 years has just been found. It's a super rare sword that reportedly dates back to the age of armored knights and the Third Crusade. An amateur scuba diver found it while he was about 600 feet off the coast of northern Israel in water that was only 13 feet deep. The weapon is more than 3 feet long and, according to the Israel Antiquities Authority, in great shape because it was under a deep layer of sand until recently. Shells and other marine life cover the whole thing, but historians will clean it up before putting it on display. This coastline was a popular place for ships, so historians say they intend to keep a weathered eye on the area for more seafaring booty. Calling all teachers, our monthly critical thinking worksheet is now up on our website. You can find October's KidNuz Noodler in our Teacher's Lounge. It's free and it's fun. Now, today's KidNuz quiz. What's the name of the supersized spider invading Georgia? The joro. Simone Biles courageously admitted what? She's still afraid to do some of her moves. What did rescuers remove from a seal's mouth in Europe? A can of Red Bull. How old was the sword found off of Israel? 900 years. In today's KidNuz Kicker, the joro may be creeping out people in Georgia, but if you live in Alabama, beware the scare of a man named Brantley Gerhardt. Parents are reportedly paying him $30 to dress up as the Grinch, the Easter Bunny, or even Halloween's Michael Myers, just so they can snap a photo of their kids at first fright. Brantley started dressing up on his own for free as a distraction during the pandemic. It turned into a side hustle when a dad offered him money to creep up on his son. According to the Post, no one's really explained why this is now a thing, but a 2019 survey revealed the average American watches his or her first horror film at age 10, perhaps making them increasingly hard to scare, even at Halloween. Before we go, it's time to shout out our teachers in their classrooms, starting with Mrs. Overfield at Farron Elementary in Plymouth, Michigan. Ms. Evans and her Knights at Franklin STEAM Academy in Champaign, Illinois. Mr. Garza at John H. Sherry in McAllen, Texas. Mr. Coleman at Great Salt Bay Community School in Damariscotta, Maine. And we have a teaching family in Sammamish, Washington. Hello to Mr. Scott and his 5th graders at Smith and Mrs. Scott and her 3rd graders at Carson. And a special thank you to Brett for making sure your teacher parents play KidNuz and keep up with current events every day. Thanks for listening. We hope we'll see you back here for more KidNuz Monday morning.